Grizzlies start with the basketball and their freshman point guard Mitch O'Mara from Avon, Indiana. A lot of local players on this Franklin team. Franklin just south of Indianapolis.
And Franklin's a great little basketball program. I went to Vincennes Junior College for a year, and you hear a lot about recruitment in Franklin College and landing some bigger players that might be a Division I transfer, a high-level D2 transfer. This is a very talented team.
Could give Bellarmine a fight today. Ty Wright, our impact player, just before the buzzer, nails the three.
And that's a tough shot. That was a hand in his face. Great defense. Dylan Penn with an open shot here.
Yeah, left wide open. Bellarmine a second chance. Betts wide open underneath, and Bellarmine has its first basket.
And that's what we talked about before the game, is offensive rebounds for Bellarmine, and that's the key for Bellarmine here early on in these games, especially moving into the regular season. Offensive rebounds are going to turn into high percentage shots, and that's what we like to see early on in the game.
Well, Franklin's a good rebounding team. They've out-rebounded their last two opponents by an average of 19. They can shoot the three, one of their strengths this year. Matt Krause misses, and the loose ball to C.J. Fleming. Alec Freem got it.
And that was developed by Dylan Penn and run downhill, creating the defense coming to him, and Freem following back and seeing that the defense collapsed and creating an open shot for himself.
So you see the starting five out there for Bellarmine. Justin Betts, Kurt Hope have been the recent starters. There's a three from T.J. Deere, one of their top shooters. Franklin retakes the lead. But Nick Thielen is out today for us with an illness, so that's a rebounding presence that they'll miss.
Yeah, and Thielen has been a great battler underneath. He's also a great cutter. And offensively, he may not be getting the ball on offensive side, but what you don't see about Bellarmine basketball is the reason why they get a lot of open shots is because of the cuts off ball. And Thielen is a big reason for that, is cutting underneath the rim, creating that defense when he's off the ball.
Those cuts you mentioned just epitomize their offense. They rarely ever dribble. That's what they're known for, their press offense, as Scott Davenport likes to call it.
See the confidence out of Franklin. 3 contested threes. All 3 of them look like they could go down. This team can really shoot the ball. So lead right there with Ty Wright.
Yeah, a couple of shots for Wright, missed both. Here comes Penn. Scored 27 in 2 of his last 4 games. He can pass it too, and he dishes off to Hope.
And that's him finding the lane, creating a little bit of defense, and that's Bellarmine cutting, getting in front of the defense when they're not looking, and it's easy layup.
Couple of subs for both teams. First we've had this game. Ethan Claycomb just about to check in. He's a normal starter for the Knights. He's one of those 4 that were out with illness against Central Michigan Tuesday. Also have Garrett Tipton coming into the game for Bellarmine.
These kids are so used to adversity now with the past couple of years. They're used to having a couple guys down, having to pick up the slack. So having those 4 guys down, you see Bellarmine against Central Michigan really step up and pick up the slack for those 4 players. But they're used to that, with last year with all the COVID stuff and the year before. This is the first year it really feels normal kind of walking into a Bellarmine Knights game. And it feels really, really good.
Bellarmine feels it has a culture where next man up, they're not going to drop off. And that was part of their success against CMU in Division II in this transition to D1.
Yeah, when my senior year, we played against Xavier. They were 11th in the country, and we won. And I think after the year, someone said it best. Our Patriot squad was the hardest team to play against. And, that is a testament of what Scotty has done here at Bellarmine. And just what every day means and every possession means is one thing that he harps on, and you can see that the guys really believe in that.
Well, guys like Garrett Tipton have been stepping up off the bench this year. He has his first basket. Bellarmine has its largest lead by 3. Ty Wright, again, he is not afraid to shoot it.
And Bellarmine, a little help defense there, came off, left their best player open there in the corner. It was an easy bucket.
About as easy of a bucket as you can find for Tipton. That's back-to-back layups for him, and Bellarmine retakes a 3-point lead. Tipton has been known to be a microwave off the bench this year, scoring-wise. battled back injuries throughout his career. When he's healthy, provides a good scoring punch off the bench.
He works hard early, and he gets good shots. He's not going to take a bad shot, and I think that builds his confidence, and that's what creates that microwave type of feel where he can just, for those guys that are coming in, it might be a recruit that is looking, and they're like, hey, you know, it's between these two schools. Look at the schedule that I get to kind of go and play at Bellarmine. And, you know, they don't get to do that if that's not the ties and the connections that Coach Davenport has within the NCAA basketball. And he's done it year after year for these programs. And these kids is really put a good schedule together and allowed them to get better game after game. And you saw it right there with that schedule. They got better each and every game. The Gonzaga game, like you said, they came off a big loss against Duke, and that was still a win for us because we learned to play our basketball and what we did really well.
You mentioned Coach Davenport's connections. He knows everybody. Mick Cronin, he used to coach with him at Louisville. They were talking all the way up until tip-off out in Vegas. He just has all those relationships, and you're right, that's helped them build this crazy schedule. Now they get to settle in at home.
Yeah, and if you have ever met anyone that's met Coach Davenport, the impact that he's had on this town, the community, the university is priceless. He's a great individual. He really believes the things that he puts out there, and he loves this team. He's the best marketer I've ever met. And, you know, when I first came aboard, there was 300 people in the stands, and we've had to move to Freedom Hall here in Louisville just to fit the fans for our home games. So it's been very fun to watch from start to end here to turn into a Division I program, and he's done a fantastic job.
And they feel they can soar higher from here on out, finishing second in the A-Sun last year. Franklin hanging tight early. Near steal from Bellarmine. We got a foul going the other way on Ryan Wiggins with the hold.
No, and I can't think of a Division I program for the first year that has even been in the top 5 of their league, not much less one game away from winning their league. So it shows you about the brand of basketball, and not just the individual player. It's guys believing and having a common goal.
Penn posting up. That's what he does best, but he misses from short range. And here comes Cody Samples, freshman from Versailles. Wright hasn't been shy to shoot early. Matt Krause pressured by Bash Whelan. A little bit too close. Foul on Whelan. That gives a couple of subs a chance to check in. Sam DeVault, shooter off the bench at 6'10", and C.J. Fleming, their captain. When DeVault's hot, he can stroke it.
They've got a lot of guys that can really turn it on, and that's one thing that coaches always done is put guys on the roster that can shoot it, can put the ball on the floor, but also find open players. And you see it again this year.
DeVault picks it up. He had 14 points against Central Michigan on Tuesday, but he has it swiped. Samples steps into a three. And another chance for Franklin. Grizzlies have been scrappy early on. Have a shot clock malfunction. Forrest, what have you seen from Franklin so far that you like?
So Franklin's not scared to come up, put the ball on the floor one time, and take a very confident shot. You know, we knew that they were going to be confident coming in here as their programs won a ton of games in their conference. But I think they've done a great job of getting open shots and really finding the best player to take the open shot, and they've knocked it down. They've also contained Bellarmine pretty good. I'd like to see them probably rebound the ball a little bit better. There have been some offensive rebounds for Bellarmine. That's probably been the reason why they're down by 3. But Franklin's been a great contender here early on.
See if the Knights can get it rolling on offense. Betts tried the wraparound. It was stuffed.
And this is when Pedro was so good last year for the Knights. He can really create something off the dribble when things would go stale. And, you know, they're really looking for somebody to fill those shoes. And I think that Pedro, you know, Dylan Penn has done that. C.J. Fleming has done that. And they're really looking for DeVault to come in and to fill those shoes.
Yeah, that's going to be a job by committee for Bellarmine this season. Top of the key three for Wiggins, no. And here comes Betts. Fleming on the drive, scoop and score. CJ known for his three-point shooting, but when he has to put it on the floor, he can be an effective driver.
Yeah, he's a tough kid, and that's, you can tell as soon as his feet hit the floor how tough he is. He doesn't take one play off, and he plays as hard as he possibly can. And you can see the emotion on his face, how bad he wants to win.
Yeah, he's always so intense. Three-time captain. Feeds Betts in the post. Nothing there. Freem the shot fake, wide open two, but their defense has been great.
Yeah, I mean, right now we talked about the loss of Pedro Bradshaw from last year. I think they're still trying to find their identity a little bit to find out who's going to create that one extra dribble that creates the play. Dylan Penn, C.J. Fleming, all of these guys, they can definitely do that. But I still feel like maybe they're still falling into their offense a little bit. Defensively, they're doing a great job of, you know, rebounding the ball, keeping everyone in front of them, help side defense. You know, Franklin's taking tough shots, okay? Just like that one you see there, they've hit a couple. But offensively, the ball reversal can get a little bit quicker. I think Coach Davenport would like to see that to get around, get a little bit open, a little more open shots.
Didn't need a ball reversal right there. Hof in the post went right to the basket. Largest lead for Bellarmine at 9. Coming off their first win of the season against Central Michigan Tuesday. And that terrifying road stretch that they had to start the season against number 1, 2, and 3 in the country. Finally get to show these Bellarmine fans what they're all about this year. Ty Wright elevates off the heel, and Freem snatches it. Hof traveled. You only get 2 steps in basketball.
He was left there with a light pass and really didn't have a dribble. Probably could have slowed it down a little bit there, but he didn't have much going on. Jump stop, maybe a pull up there.
Kurt's been their star freshman this year, starting the last 4 games. Solid rebounder out of Bar Reeve High School, won a state championship last year. TJ Deere turns it over. Bellarmine's defense from where it was against Tiffin in the exhibition, giving up 87 points to where it is now, light years.
Yeah, they're switching really well. Their help side is coming off of screens. If you see Franklin's running a elbow screen that for TJ Wright, and you know, they're switching off, helping off, creating a tough shot. Franklin hasn't had an easy shot yet. They've hit some tough ones. And that's right there. Clay Combs is another guy that they are really, really expecting to turn it on this year. He had some great breakouts last year, and I think Ethan's going to have an outstanding year.
There's the first bucket for Franklin in a long time. Bellarmine up by 8. Olivia Russell checked in on the Bellarmine huddle during that last timeout. Let's go to Olivia.
Yeah, guys, Coach Davenport during that break telling the guys to play their game, which Bellarmine basketball we know is to pass the ball, get guys open, take their shots, don't let the Grizzlies take control of their offense, then get back, play defense, rebound the ball, and do it all over again. And the number one thing, talk, talk, talk. So they're going to see how that offense plays out. Jack and Forrest.
Communication always key with this Knights team. If you go to a practice, they're going to be screaming. Defensive communication's been good early. Nothing you can do about that. Ty Wright banking it home.
Yeah, he's got great length. He can put the ball on the floor. He's 6'6". He's got great touch. He's got a good floater. He's hard to defend, and you can kind of see it. They run a ton of screens for him. So today is going to be really tough and really just kind of following him around all game long. They've had to do it in the past, and today is not going to be an exception with TJ Wright.
He's just long. That gets him into good spots to score.
Yeah. Excuse me, Ty Wright.
6'6", lanky. Really worked his way into this primary scoring role as a sophomore.
Yeah, he's young. You know, he's got some growing to do as well. He looks, he's got great length, you know, a little bit of weight room. He's going to be a force. And being able to kind of put your back to the rim and post up, if he could add that aspect to his game, he'd be a really, really high-level Division II, low Division I player.
That three from TJ Deere, their top shooter in the starting lineup. Transfer from Thomas More, just south of Cincinnati. Claycomb to that heart of the lane again, comes up short. Bellarmine's hit its last few shots from right there. So Franklin hanging around here in the first half. Knights have led by as many as 9.
Again, they've hit some tough shots with some, defenders in their hands. Again, great defense defended right there by Ethan Claycombs, and they fell off short there, but they've hit 3 buckets that have been highly defended that were tough shots.
Yeah, Scott Davenport's going to love that every time, no matter the result. Hof, couple of shot fakes. Nice defense from the senior, Matt Krause from West Lafayette underneath. Rebounding battle actually even at 10 right now. Franklin prides itself on rebounding. Again, out-rebounding his last 2 opponents by 19. Deere wants another 3, and he cans in.
Wow, that's a tough shot. That has been the story, the 8-year-old, to be a head coach and take the responsibility of these young men and to win at a high level. That's just fantastic. So kudos to him, and this team is playing really well. He's got them playing with a high level of confidence, and they're shooting the heck out of the ball today, especially highly defended, and they're still going in.
Yeah, 5 threes already for him, and 3 from TJ Deere. Missed that tough look. Bellarmine shooting 58%, making 52% meanwhile. They've been going into the post quite a bit. Sam DeVault right to the rack, gets the second effort.
Yeah, I think Bellarmine and Coach Davenport really thinks that they can have the upper hand in the post, and you're seeing them at least touch the post 1 time down the court, and Scotty's told him, make sure that the ball goes in, that our big guys touch the ball once, and you're seeing that every time down the court. Be nice to get Penn going a little bit. He's 0 for 4 today. He's built a little bit of confidence, getting going to the rack a little bit, but they need to get him going so they can kind of open this up.
Yeah, Penn's been their driving force the last 4 games, averaging 22 per game. Garrett Tipton's having himself a game in the first half.
Yeah, you called him the microwave. There he is. He can go underneath, find those easy buckets, but he can knock down the 3 as well, just like anyone on this basketball team.
9 points already to lead all scorers. At 15 at Murray State earlier this year.
You got a guy that can come off the bench that way, that they're not overly invested in practice, the other team, that can come in and really give you 10 points, 15 points. That's so valuable for a basketball team, and Bellarmine constantly has that on their roster.
It's the balance that they strive for every single year, and they've
great pass.
Had. Sam DeVault converts that good pass into 2. And a timeout taken by...
And Dylan's just maturing as a basketball player, as a person. It's really nice to see him work with Coach Davenport and become the player that Dylan really can become. And that's what Coach does, is he brings the best out of each player.
He said he just looks so much more confident this year, having a year of Division I basketball under his belt, and he's poised to lead Bellarmine into A-Sun play.
Yeah, and you can see that confidence. C.J. Fleming has that confidence as well. You think with Claycombs, that 1 year under their belt, and at high level, might add a winning year. With that, these are veterans in the Division I level now.
Finished second in the conference last year. 1-5, record deceiving, of course, because of that hard schedule. trying to take care of a pesky Franklin group early in this one.
You know, and Liberty, we're number 2 against Liberty in that conference last year. Liberty make a deep run in the tournament.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Liberty's a great program. The ASUN has really developed. They're adding players and adding teams and programs each year. It's really become a good football and basketball program.
Liberty's always going to be up there. Of course, they're going to move on from the ASUN coming up here soon. Will present an opportunity for Bellarmine. But this year, Liberty looks to be one of their main contenders. They set up the offense, and here come the ball reversals.
You know, the addition of EKU and Austin P in the conference, they're just adding really quality programs in the conference, and they're doing it's a great conference for Bellarmine to be a part of. It looks like they're caring about who they're bringing in, so it's awesome to be a part of a conference that it really matters of who's part of it.
Well, those couple of schools you mentioned, there seems to be a top tier, and Bellarmine's right up there.
Yeah. You know, traditionally, Austin P, KU are great basketball programs, but they're great football programs as well that recruit heavily in this area.
CJ Fleming finally gets going from deep. He hadn't really been looking to take a shot from downtown because of Bellarmine's success inside so far. But he was the top 3-point shooter in the ASUN last year, and Scott Davenport will always go to him to lead his group.
He's got a quick release. He just
it's a funky shot, though.
Yeah, and he can find a great shot at very small areas, and that's why CJ is such a sharp shooter, because his release is so quick, and it's consistent every single time. He only needs a couple steps and the ball's up.
He had a half-court shot last game against Central Michigan, so he can shoot it from pretty much anywhere. Bellarmine up by 12, 90 seconds to go first half. Zach Jennings into the game, 55 in white. Second consecutive game that Jennings has played after not playing the first 5. Penn spinning with his right, he hits.
And I like him playing with his back to the basket, posting up, using his strength at that level, but he's extremely crafty. He can hit that one-handed floater, moving backwards, creating that space on Ty Wright, maybe a little bit longer than him.
Good closeout from Betts there in the corner, and a turnover for Franklin. Dump off pass to Hof, a little shot fake, and that leaves him wide open.
Selfless basketball at its finest, and you see that it's frustrating Franklin. The easy buckets, they really start getting to you as a team.
Brian Leibowitz is not going to like that. Bellarmine slowly pulled away here at the end of the first half after Franklin was hanging in there, hitting tough shots. Leibowitz knew the challenge that playing Bellarmine presented.
Yeah, Bellarmine's getting some confidence underneath. I think that as this game progresses, we definitely see Bellarmine start to find the middle, start finding some open shots. I'd like to see them probably start pushing that ball out and finding some open threes. As you saw, Sam DeWalt had an open 3 earlier, but you know, as they continue to shoot and get good layups just like that, they're not going to stop.
Yeah, it's hard to pass up those wide open 2s. Hof with that block. About 30 seconds left here in the first frame. Franklin getting some guys in a deeper rotation into the ball game. Saw Trey Flatt in there. Logan Hudgens now in. Kraus on the catch. Posting up against Hof. He leans in and misses. Penn slows it up. Bellarmine will hold for the last shot. Seven seconds. Fleming idles inside, fades, fires, and it rattles in.
Tough shot. Bellarmine everyone has a role, right? So someone steps up on help defense, the other guy slides in and helps them. That's what you saw there. Betts with the easy bucket.
Does it on offense too.
And he's quick. We talked about being a microwave. Betts is that type of guy. He may not be the fastest guy on the court, but, man, he can get to the free throw line, he knocks it down, and he makes great decisions.
He really bulldogged his way to the starting lineup. Does all the little things for this team. He's got 2 straight buckets and a great defensive play to start the second half.
He was almost surprised that he wasn't going to give the ball up there, that he found himself open, and just a confident player. You could see his confidence from this year and the last year, just building and building. Guy from Providence
last year, yeah.
And tons of guys from Providence, Indiana. Justin Benedetti, they're known to pull out some great players, and Bellarmine has recruited that area heavily.
Justin was happy. He only had to drive about 10 minutes back home for Thanksgiving. A lot of local guys for this Bellarmine team. Kurt Hof from Montgomery, Indiana, sends home the hook shot. He's got 8 points, and Bellarmine leads by 26.
And something lost in the game of basketball is that such soft touch over the shoulder that you see there. Very, very effective of creating space underneath. He's got a great touch.
A home run pass from C.J. Fleming to Betts. He somehow gets it to Hof, and Bellarmine's off to a great start here in the second, an 8-0 run. Timeout, Brian Leibowitz. Bellarmine.
Play Bellarmine basketball here at Freedom Hall has been a great excitement for me. But Coach has done it, and he's done it with hard work, and he continues to do that.
That's a great point. Other teams are now excited to play Bellarmine, especially from the lower Division II, Division III schools, as there's a 3 knockdown by Logan Hudgens. But that wouldn't happen in the past. Bellarmine was the team excited to go play other people. Brian Leibowitz walked up to Scott Davenport pregame, said, "Thank you for the opportunity to play here." That's a really cool thing.
I mean, he's so humble, and I was going to touch on this. He thanked us for being here, and it's that about, guys like that in the game of basketball that make it the culture so wonderful to be around. And you're right, it's the excitement from other people that kind of feed off, and you can't take that for granted, especially for our players and our guys. But they're also still doing that, going to play Gonzaga and UCLA, and still doing that ourselves. And it's just a different aspect and a way of thinking, but it was definitely humbling to see Franklin's head coach so excited to be here at Freedom Hall.
Working their way up the totem pole.
Yep. And they've got a good team. Well, listen, they've hit some good shots. They've ranked good sets, played good defense for the most part. And at their level, they're going to be a very, very high-level contender.
Coming off a conference title, Brian Leibowitz high on his group, but they are young. 14 of the 19 players on Franklin's roster are underclassmen. Lost 4 key seniors from last year that counted for over half the points. Bellarmine brings a lot back. Got that chemistry. It's really shown itself at the end of the first half, start of the second. Bellarmine will keep after a deflection.
The Bellarmine sets are very complex. This type of basketball, you don't just pick up. It's hard to coach. It's hard for a freshman to come in and play right away. You've got to learn the offense, but obviously you've got to learn that defensive style too. But we definitely do that pressure offense that we talk about so much, and that takes some time to kind of get used to.
We have a lot of upperclassmen who have gotten used to it over the last few years. When it's run to perfection, it's a thing of beauty. Tough shot for Franklin, and Bellarmine can extend its lead once again. Fleming defers the 3. Freem does it. Air ball. It's really rare you're going to see an air ball from a Bellarmine team.
There must be a draft in here. I think the wind caught it. You have that. You have that sometimes. And catch the ball weird. It's just keeping that confidence and hitting the next one. I've airballed my fair share of 3-pointers at Freedom Hall, so I can't really say much. It's something that happens.
Well, you played at Knights Hall. You don't have an excuse, Forrest. These guys got a bigger arena here.
That's right. That's right.
No problem for Bash Wieland on the easy lay-in. Back to 27 for Bellarmine. Just over 4 minutes into the second half.
Bellarmine's starting to have fun a little bit. You see them starting to connect a little bit here, and I think that they're running the floor really well, and defensively they're getting rebounds, and a great shot by Franklin there to kind of pull up to the elbow. They needed that shot really, really bad. But defensively, we're getting rebounds, and we're pushing the floor right now here at the start of the second half.
That's a heck of a look from Betts to Whelan. He has back-to-back layups. Everything you were just talking about, the half-court sets really starting to work for Bellarmine, maintaining this 20-plus point lead.
And they'll kill you with back cuts. If you turn your head, the ball's on the left side of the floor. If you're on the right side of the floor, don't turn your head on your guy, because he will back cut you every single time, and you've seen at least 10 points tonight off of that.
They are always moving, whether it's them or the ball. See what this offensive possession looks like. Fleming trying to post up, and they get him. Cool piece of history for that small college with just 1,000 kids.
Yeah, you know, Franklin's, like I said, they've got a great program. I went to Vincennes, and when you're in that area of Indiana, you definitely know about Franklin College, and they've done a great job in the past 2 years of getting guys, a young coach here that's winning, and there's a lot of excitement around the program.
Won a conference title last year. Picked to finish in the top half this season despite having 14 underclassmen. Whelan takes the long two. And the rebound pulled down by Cody Samples, freshman from Versailles. Brian Leibowitz barking out 50 for the play call for Franklin. Let's see what 50 means. Hudgens already has a three, missed on that one.
If you watch Franklin offensively, they catch the ball and they take a dribble. It'd be nice to see them really work it around, get some cuts going, not rely on that dribble so much, because it's not really creating defensive collapses. Just watch their habits a little bit. I think their confidence is a little bit down with a little bit of their sets, but they've got to trust into their coach. They got to trust their sets. They can't just dribble into everything, creating bad shots or bad passes, but it's always a pass and a dribble.
Do you attribute that to some of the youth?
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is coming in and playing against Bellarmine at a high level. Bellarmine forces you into some things, and they really make you think, especially because they get so many easy buckets. Your confidence, you start to play and do things that are out of character, and I think that a lot of that is you develop over time.
Not to mention Bellarmine's used to defending the top 3 teams in the country. Now they're defending a Division III school with players, you know, under 6'6", 6'7". There's no player taller than 6'7" on the roster. So it's like swinging with a donut on a bat before you can go up to the plate. And Bellarmine's been pretty dominant today.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, those are exciting games, and Bellarmine, some folks in some brands of basketball, they go into those games and they're just there. I think Bellarmine goes in really willing to soak it up and to learn from those games. And with a coach like Coach Davenport, you've got to do that because he's going to make you learn, right? And he's going to pull the best out of these players. And that's what you see into this game today. They're building a little bit of confidence, and they're moving on with that. Early on in the second half here, you see a young freshman come in with Hof and really play with the basket behind him with a lot of confidence, and that's very, very, very testament to what Coach has done. But it's very exciting for this basketball team to see those freshmen develop early on, and that's because of those games.
Yeah, a lot of young players that'll become staples in the program moving forward. Penn's been a staple for a while. He gets the bucket. He's only got 4 points, but Bellarmine's still up by 23. Samples had the last basket for Franklin. He wants a three this time. And an offensive, no, not an offensive foul. They get Hof pushing down Aarons for Franklin. It'll be Franklin basketball coming out of the break. Dylan Penn, he is deadly in the lane. All Bellarmine against Franklin. Bellarmine up by 23 against Franklin. School 90 minutes away, just south of Indianapolis. Bellarmine's home opener, and it's been a good one so far. Knights pulled away at the end of the first half at a 20-point halftime lead. Been pretty dominant so far here to start the second. Franklin basketball out of the break. Matt Krause, their top returning scorer, off the mark from three. Krause just 3 points today after averaging 16 a game for the first 3 this season. Dylan Penn with the right, just short on the floater. Olivia Russell checked in with the Franklin huddle during the timeout. Let's check in with Olivia.
Guys, during that break, Coach Leibowitz is looking for an offensive adjustment from his guys, saying that they're letting Bellarmine control too much of this game. He's saying if you don't have the shot, kick it out, get rid of it, then reset the offense and take their own shots. Jack Forrest.
Franklin just trying to play its brand of basketball. That's what we talked about with Bellarmine Forest. When they play their brand, they play successfully. Franklin's been taken out of system by a really strong Bellarmine defense today.
Yeah, and I mean, Bellarmine's not going to let you just settle into your offense. I think they're taking really quick shots. I think that they're getting a little beaten up, and then they're taking those shots early on in their sets and not really believing in their sets. But that's, you know, when you're playing a high-level team like Bellarmine with high IQ basketball with every single player that you're playing against, that's what they're doing, and they're making you come and take bad shots like that. Pin and the way that he sees the floor.
Tipton had the big first half. Sam DeVault, a rare drive from the free throw line, the three-point line rather, he missed it. Sets up Cody Samples and Franklin's offense, under 10 to play. Samples, short. Strong rebound from Alec Freem. Just like Justin Betts, another guy for Bellarmine that does a little bit of everything. His role changes game to game.
Yeah, he's what we like to call a garbage player, and what that means is that he kind of takes on the role of whatever needs to be done.
There.
and it's a good thing, right? And I think that, you know, if you can take on that role and you take on the role that you're needed in each game, you find a place in the roster, and that's what those two have done. They're picking up the tough buckets and the tough things that others are not willing to do.
Totally got what you meant. Garbage player, you hear it one way. Just the garbage man, maybe.
He's the garbage man. They picking up the slack. There's always got to have those in the roster.
That's stripped and out of bounds off Franklin. Only 7 turnovers today for Bellarmine. Franklin a bit out of sorts on offense with 13. When that assist to turnover ratio is 15 to 7, it's hard to beat.
Yeah, I mean, just protecting the ball. They're not getting good shots. I even think even the shots that they're not turning the ball over, they're forcing shots that are a little extended out of their range, especially with a hand in their face. So I think that they're forcing them out of, confidence is what Bellarmine's done. And Franklin, this is, again, like I said before, they're a great team. But this is a high-level Bellarmine basketball team that plays at a high level. And it's hard to just come in and keep your sets and keep your poise, and you're seeing shots like that happen because of that.
That was an easy lob to Alec Freem from Dylan Penn, picking up another assist. He's got 5. So something Scott Davenport has started this year with First Urology of Louisville. They're sponsoring the Davenport Family Scholarship by donating every time Bellarmine records an assist, and there's going to be a lot of them over the course of the season And that Davenport Family Scholarship is for the student managers for the team. Such a great initiative set up by Scotty Davenport.
Yeah, and that's a big thing that coaches always put first, is that everyone on this roster is as important as the starters and the star player. And that's just, you know, it's not a surprise that coach puts stuff like that together. But it shows how great of a person, not just a coach he is, that he even thinks about that, right? And just to think about that, the player or the guy on the bench he's putting everything together, making sure the team has a meal. Those guys are super important to a program, and to see him put something together like that with first urology, it's just amazing, and a testament of Coach Davenport.
He loves all his guys, from the star player, Dylan Penn, right down to the managers. It is really a family at Bellarmine. That led to a lot of success in Division II and translated so far to Division I. Inside, Hudgens off the mark. Good look.
Coach has always treated the players like they're Division I players. I think that's why you see the adjustment to Division I be so easy for Bellarmine, is because the approach has always been there for Coach Davenport, that he treats his players like a Division I program. And these kids have believed it from day one. They were competing with Division I programs and exhibitions while they were a Division II program, and they're seeing everything kind of come together for the Knights.
Well, our games come together over the course of this one. Largest lead at 33, doubling up.
Definitely needed, but game plays like that, you know, that's just a physical play. A little bit of confidence when Tipton comes in, not really meaning anything by it.
And they do rule it a common foul. Nothing flagrant there. We're back underway, and it's Franklin basketball.
Great position there. Offensively, a little out of control by Franklin. Bellarmine will take a charge 9 out of 10 times if you're driving out of control to the middle of the floor. And you see it right there.
We touched on it earlier in the exhibition against Tiffin when it was a 90-87 game. Franklin, Tiffin, both non-Division I teams, decent offenses. Tiffin scored 87. That was Bellarmine's first time playing against another team in several months. But the defense, it's just evolved, and you have to attribute that to the competition they played in the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when you're playing Gonzaga, you're playing UCLA, you're forced to play defense and at a high level, and that's just going to continue to grow. They've got to stay confident at that level and play every game like they're playing those teams of that caliber. And they've done a great job of that tonight. They did a great job at Central Michigan of continuing that momentum. Ethan Claycombs there with a 3. But, you know, they're playing Bellarmine basketball defensively. We talked about it earlier. It takes a while to get the offense down because it's a high-level offense. Defensively, it's a high-level offense. They'll switch just guards. They'll switch 3-4s. They'll switch everything. So their assignments are a lot similar to the offensive role. It's a high-level defense as well.
They've executed it about to perfection today. Franklin with just 33 points. Claycomb missed a 3 last possession. Kicks it out. 5 on the shot clock. Whelan has to take the 3. Long rebound to Betts. So many times he tracks down those loose balls.
And it's his intensity level. He doesn't take a play off. He knows the emotion is always high with that guy, and he gets every loose ball.
Just an intangibles guy. Does everything, and he ends up with a bucket fittingly for Bellarmine to close out the possession. Now they have a chance to bring in Eli Roberts for the first time this year after the Betts 2.
Seeing some guys off the bench getting a little confidence. It's good to see some of these guys and faces that we haven't seen early on in the year come in and start building that game time confidence.
Coming off a couple of shoulder injuries. Didn't know how much he'd be able to play this year, but playing for the first time this season against Franklin. Good feet off the back cut. Couldn't finish with Tharp. Tharp gets the deflection, though. It'll stay with Bellarmine. And here comes Zach Jennings once again, playing in his second straight game. They didn't know how Zach would play against Central Michigan, a very competitive game. Did get in for 3 minutes and was productive for us. He took 2 charges in 3 minutes.
And that's a big part of this team is taking charges. I mean, I sat there and counted 10 charges last year against Lipscomb. It's a big part of their defensive scheme is to notice and identify when players are out of control, set up early, and take that charge that other folks and other teams sometimes not willing to take.
Garrett Tipton with that basket. He's now in double figures. 4 Bellarmine players are. Betts with 10, Fleming with 10, Hof with 14, and now Tipton with 11. Balance, the name of the game for Bellarmine today on offense, and a stifling defense. Franklin has just 12 points this half. 3 ball from the corner. Bowling pins down to the ground, and it's back Bellarmine's way. And here comes a caravan of subs for both teams. That's the great thing about college basketball. Even when it's a 37-point game, some players are out there, whether it's your bench guys, your starters, and they really value every single possession.
Yeah, and that's the guys that you want on your bench. Those are the guys that Scotty and his staff is recruiting, and they're not going to pout about how much playing time they're deserving or earning. They're just going to make the best out of the moment that they have, and that's why a lot of doors open for these kids in these programs because they do take the best of each moment.
McDonald pull up 2. Rebound to Vaults. Passes to his old high school teammate Penn. Good passing in transition, but that feed from Jennings leaked by Roberts, which sends us into the break.
Such a great head coach, and they've built a great staff. They are continuously proven winners at the Division II level. To see them to be Moorhead is a great feeling because I know how much it feels and it means to those women.
Yeah, Chancellor Dugan's done a really nice job with the program. There's Matt Kraus for Franklin. Just his second basket, averaging 16 a game coming into this one. Expected to be their top player alongside Ty Wright, but Bellarmine's been able to hold him and Wright to a combined 12 points today. Eli Roberts there for the loose ball. Can't quite get the stick back. That would have been his first basket of the season.
He's battling. He's working hard, and he's exerting a lot of energy. It's fun to see those players come in and get excited about loose balls and doing the right things when they haven't seen a lot of minutes previously. And
the bench wants him to score too. The guy started to stand up when he was down there.
Absolutely. There's no better accomplishment than seeing someone that you battle with every single day go in and succeed.
And they're loving his hustle on the floor alongside Zach Jennings. 2 guys that barely see the floor for Bellarmine going down for the tie-up.
And up 35 points here and got the whole bench of Bellarmine, standing, cheering for someone getting on a loose ball. Those are the things as a former player, those are the things that you miss is that team feeling, that bond that you have with your teammates. And just the excitement of just working hard and making sure that every single day you're getting better.
All bench players out there now for Bellarmine outside of Justin Betts. Glue guys staying out on the floor with 2:15 to go. Ball deflected off DeVault's shins. Tharp running the point. Off to Reggie McDonald, the freshman from Perry Meridian High School.
And you see Franklin still just really relying off that dribble and is not really finding a set. They're not passing themselves into a set or to a good shot. It's a lot of one-on-one dribble. And that's a testament of what Bellarmine has done. They got them out of the flow of the game. The second half, they really punched them in the mouth early, and it really set down the confidence of Franklin.
Sam DeVault looked pretty confident on that drive. Off those ball reversals, had a clear lane. And a missed 3 on the other end for the Grizzlies. Pull up 3.
Everyone's getting a shot up now for Franklin.
Yeah, that was Hunter Bruce, the sophomore from Boonville.
You got to get a shot up in Freedom Hall while you're here, man.
I mean, if you're in the game, why not? 16 of the 19 guys for Franklin, local kids, and growing up in the Midwest, I'm sure they heard about the lore of Freedom Hall. Kurt Hof has gotten the chance to start his college career here in this hallowed venue, scoring the most Bellarmine points today, 14 points on 7 of 8 shooting. Hard to ask for much more.
Yeah, and you know, Freedom Hall is Muhammad Ali has fought here. Dr. J has played basketball here.
Kentucky Colonels.
The Kentucky Colonels, and the historical hallways of Freedom Hall. I think we're just all grateful that we get to play basketball here as a Bellarmine Knight fan, and you know, to start your career off here at Freedom Hall and to know who's played under these lights. What an exciting time, but more excitingly to go play Gonzaga, Purdue, and UCLA, and that's all Scott Davenport and what he's done for this program in the offseason, fighting for his team and his players.
He's really marketed this team well and built them into this Division I ready program. That last basket from Reese Sherrill, freshman from Shoals, Indiana. 73-37. Bellarmine's going to end up with a big win in its home opener against Division III Franklin.
Look good defensively. I think they defensively took more away from this game than they did offensively. But, you know, really fought underneath. As you see, Eli Roberts with 2 points, the big 2 points here as the bench goes crazy. But I think Bellarmine learned a lot today of what they saw in those bigger games. Now they've put it in fruition here against Franklin, and they see all those seeds that they've planted early on kind of start blossoming, if you will. And put a really good game together here.
Fine performance, especially defensively. 3 of their next 4 will be against non-Division I teams. Home opening win. Check.